what are the best suggestions that were actually passed to the developers in mechanics, economy, and all sorts of stuff that aren't new vehicles actually, right? Let's take a look on some of them. Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe. And basically I wanted to do a video basically shouting out a little bit on some of the suggestions that were passed to the developers. So they are considering this stuff in the sense of mechanics, economy stuff, and etc. Right? Stuff that are not new vehicles. Some of these people actually put it some very interesting things. We're going to talk about 5 of them plus 2 honorable mentions at the end. Okay, so the first one was made by Didon79. Sorry. By the way, I will leave all the links in the description for you to check it out and vote and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, this one was made by the Didon79, and yeah, it's a very small thing, but very, very interesting. So the idea here is basically, did you ever realize when you spawn in that you might be in the wrong spawn position and you are basically alone and you are going to get killed? Well, what if they added basically little marker on the map before spawning in, showing how many players are actually going to spawn in on that spawn, right? Meaning that you can divide yourself a little bit there, or you can at least know where your friendlies will be, right? So as I said, it's a very small thing, but it would help you, especially in ground battles. Of course, in air battles it could be a help as well, but in a general sense, like more in arcade. And so for ground battles, it is a big deal, right? And this would help a lot. He even put it a little map over here of how it would work, right? So go out there, vote yes for this one. I will leave the links in the description. And yeah, this would be very cool. The second one was made by a guest. So yeah, the guest, I don't know. But in the old forum in 2017, so a while back. But it is a very interesting thing as well. Have you ever realized when you spade a vehicle that you don't have a reason to use it anymore because you are on the grind and you need the grind bonuses and then you just stop playing it? So yeah, this is because the game is kind of focused on the grind itself, and once you finish it, one of the grinds, in this particular case spading a vehicle or getting all the modifications, you basically don't have any more purpose on actually getting vehicles, right? So if you get to the game itself and you are researching a tech tree, for example, if I already spaded these vehicles, for example, I have no more incentive to actually play with them. I feel a lot of these in any tech tree, but for example here in the US, if I already spaded one of these vehicles, there's not really a reason why to play with it, and I try to play with the vehicles that are not spaded to get the bonuses, right? So why don't we have, and this was the idea by this guy, that why don't we have a bonus in RP research once you actually finish the research itself for the vehicle? So for example, if I spade a vehicle like the 120S over here, I get a 10%, 50%, I don't know. They need to work it out how much it would be. RP bonus for being spaded. This would actually, incentivize you actually playing with the spaded vehicle. Not only for the actual modifications and getting the vehicle to its full performance, but also getting a bonus on research to continue your grind. This would make you not only, as I said, continue to play with the spaded vehicle, but incentivize you to actually spade the vehicle even if the vehicle is hard to spade. So I think it's a great idea and we should have that ASAP. The third one was made by Vikernes Varg, a very, very interesting one as well, a revamping of the secondary loadout UI using custom loadout features. So he basically says that the way that everything works with the custom loadout right now, it's kind of old, although it was added a short time ago. It is kind of getting like it's not as good as it should be, right? So the first thing would be kind of a revamp to the UI of that system. As you see over here, it would be a very, very interesting thing, showing exactly where the loadout is going to go, you know, and you would be able to click on it and choose the vehicle. So with many more informations on kilograms, weight, you know, the amount of fuel, etc., etc., the specs, everything like that, in a better way, like or he added right here, right? Maybe even you could click on one of these and drag it out and actually mount your own loadout, you know. So it would be a small little thing, but it would be very, very cool to see and very fun. The second thing would be on the hanger itself. This is the coolest one in my opinion. It would be basically mode that you click in here. For example, I don't know, maybe another like box over here or something that you would click right here, and it would go to this, basically this screen over here, right? Basically you would pass the mouse over where you want to actually change the loadout, and it would basically give you the information. Click to add it, as you see, and then once you click it, you can actually choose whatever it goes there. So basically giving you the option to visually look at the vehicles themselves and the loadouts that they're using. So great idea, guys. And yeah, again, I will leave all of these links in the description, and thank you, man, for actually doing this, because this would actually be very, very cool. Fourth one was actually added by Blue Canadian. It is a very, very interesting thing. It would be basically land-based arrestor gears. So these arrestor gears are basically just like a carrier arrestor gear, as you see over here, but for land aircraft or vehicles that land on the ground, on the normal ground, and not on a ship, right? This would increase the amount of players that would actually land on their you know, gears. And of course, remember, these things are used in emergencies, okay? They're not really used normally. They're normally put it onto a specific position where needed, or they are added at the end of an airfield to actually make sure that nobody overruns the runway, right? So is it really a good idea? Well, yes and no. At the same time, it depends on how it's added. In my opinion, it should be one thing and players could use it or not. I would love to see these, because a lot of these aircraft, like the 104, the F-16, a lot of these aircraft, they have these emergency arrestor hooks, and you could actually use them in an emergency. I would use them only if I'm overrunning the airfield. Of course, there were some people that probably would use them just for a normal landing, but I guess, you know, they can do whatever they want, right? But still, there is this point of making people land in a weird way all the time, because people will do that. The thing is that people already do that, so this would be an idea that would more help than harm anybody, right? So it would be very cool to see. Not all aircraft could have that. Maybe a button to actually lower this thing and not just lower it automatically like it is in a Navy aircraft when you get closer to a carrier or something like that, but it would be cool. And the final one, the best one in my opinion, the Jandaros one. Thank you, man, for actually doing this. This is a very small thing. I don't even need to read or like show to you guys too much things. Allow players to test drive all vehicles, maybe even depending on the level that he is in, right? 36, 50, 100, I don't know. But let players test drive all vehicles. This is something way too big to not be in game, right? I mean, there's so many vehicles that people want to test it out and see if they actually want to grind a whole tech tree to get to a vehicle. I mean, look at the amount of vehicles that we have in the game, right? Do you really want to actually just, you know, research all of these vehicles to find it out that the last vehicle that you want to play isn't what you were expecting? So this is just like, come on, Gaijin, like it must be in the game. Like, what is the point of not having this feature? Everybody should be able to at least test drive every vehicle of the game. It will make people play more of the game and want to grind more of the game. It doesn't make any sense to not have that. And that would help even in a dev server, so that people can actually test it out, all of the new vehicles, even when they're not researched. So, or close to researching, right? So it's something too big to not have in the game. So please, Gaijin, add that. And then we have two little things that are very, very cool and need to be added. The first one was for Mahet, I think it's called like that. Basically nose wheel steering. This is the type of wheel steering that turns to the left or to the right. and basically a physical model to the game that would mean that it would be more realistic, a little bit more beautiful to actually look at, and also a little bit better if you introduce it correctly to turn around if you are in a carrier or something like that, if you are filming, if you are in a simulator battle or anything like that, right? I know for the most battles isn't really that useful, that's why it's in the normal honorable mentions and not in the the normal list, but I still believe it's something that we need to have in a game. So thank you, MatAWG, for actually, doing this. This was kind of a while back, but still. And the last one, something that it's very small, but I think it's very cool as well. 50% discounts for flags on the country's Independence Days and National Days. I would include any type of commemorative day for that country. So for example, in my country, it's 7th of September, which is the Independence Day for us. 4th of July for the US, I think, yeah. So yeah, there are many ones, each country would have its own, and a 50% discount on Golden Eagles, or even, I don't know, like changing it for Golden Eagles to Silver Lions for you to buy the national flag would be very cool. It's kind of expensive, right? If you take a look on how much it is a flag in here, it is kind of too expensive, right? I mean, it should be a little bit easier for you to actually get that. Let me find it out here. So here it is, right? Look at this, 500 Golden Eagles. It is too expensive in my opinion. It's just a flag. Like, come on. It needs to be cheaper, at least on the National Day or something like that. I know there's a lot of countries over here to actually be added, but it would be only done once, right? I mean, it's a very small thing and it would only be done once, in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyway, this is it for everything that I think should be added that are already passed to the developers and were not added yet. I saw a lot of things that they were listening to players, like for example, the countermeasures being released independently, different BRs for different game modes that it's coming very soon. So all of these stuff they are adding, and it came from players, right? Players wanted that. They posted in the community and they are listening to us. So that's why I do this type of video, to actually bring a little bit of attention. You can check it out in all the, in the links in the description. And of course, I forgot to thank Talks for actually doing this one at the end, okay? So yeah, I will leave all the links in the description. Go out there and I see you guys in the next one. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see anything that I missed in the suggestions that would be in the game. I see you guys. Bye.